Like, that's what's going on in the city right now. I completely understand. Go.
Dude, just go. I mean, I saw the billboards up there with the Sixers season tickets. They're probably going through the roof. Dude, the other job, it was just like curse words left or right. You hear from the cubicles, and it's just like everybody knew what happened in a matter of seconds. This has gotten the city fired up. I know people that didn't even care about the Sixers because, you know, they beat you up for the past couple of years. They were out. And now today, it feels...
He just can't wait until tomorrow to talk about King James with you. This is the Andrew Salciunas Show. Now, ready to get you even more fired up than you already are, is your host, Andrew Salciunas, on 97.5 LeBron.
Yeah, I already hate it because it's not the Andrew Salciunas Show. For the next 3 hours, it's the freaking LeBron James show, man. It's the LeBron James party that has been going on since Friday at 11:30 a.m. when our lives changed. And I'm serious, our lives changed Friday morning when the news dropped that LeBron James was signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. Good Sunday morning. This is Andrew Salciunas here on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. Look at that. I got it right out of the way. Nick Earnshaw, who's producing the show today. By the way, let me get this out of the way now. Nick Earnshaw cancels his vacation plans to be in this weekend, to be here today. Brendan Dutz, who is not normally working on Sundays, is running our YouTube feed today so that we can stream this show, so that you can look at the excitement that is just on my face, because this is one of the greatest moments of my life. Forget my career. All right, like, I've been here at the Fanatic for 12 years, and, man, have I been spoiled the last, 5 or 6 years of it. The Eagles winning the Super Bowl, being at a Super Bowl, another one. The Phillies getting to a World Series, getting back to an NLCS. As painful as it's been, there's been relevancy with the Phillies. There's been relevancy with the Eagles. The Flyers are finally there. The Sixers, though, it's been difficult the last couple of years to come in here and talk about it. Not just me personally, but I know a lot of you have struggled with the Sixers because of the constant kick in the junk that we seemingly get every single year. But this past Friday was a life-changing event for any sports fan in Philadelphia. So forget that there is a microphone in front of me right now. I am going to talk to you as if you were my wife. That sounds a little weird, but I talked to my wife about this on Friday when the news dropped. I have been a Sixers fan my entire life. I am 32 years old, so that's not that old for some of you, or that's ancient for some of you who are listening right now. I have had blips of excitement. I love the team. They rival the Phillies for my love of a team in Philadelphia. But I love this team, and I've loved the bad years. But there is something about the excitement that this Sixers team brings to the city that I cannot wait to relive again. When I was 7 years old, man, that was 25 years ago, I got to watch with my dad on the couch the Sixers playing the Lakers in the NBA Finals, the series against Milwaukee, the series against Toronto, a 7-year-old kid being able to stay up late and not having to worry about getting up for school the next day. I had to get up for school. That was the rule. There was no bitching the next morning. But I think back to little 7-year-old Andrew watching Allen Iverson, thinking he was the greatest player in the world. And now 25 years later, I actually have the greatest player in the world currently, because you can debate all you want about Michael Jordan. But LeBron James, even at this stage of his career, is one of the best basketball players in the NBA. There's history that follows LeBron James, but there is also relevancy today that comes with LeBron James, because it's about the team, and the team that was missing a piece. And I know LeBron James, and I was saying this last week before the news dropped, LeBron James is the missing piece for every team in the National Basketball Association. He is. He's the missing piece for everybody. But this Sixers team, with the addition of Jaylen Brown, alongside Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and Joel Embiid, there was so much excitement already. But the thing that I kept on coming back to was, all right, who's the veteran point guard that they're going to get? Somebody that can, when the game slows down, bring the ball up the court and facilitate and manage the offense. I love Tyrese Maxey as much as everybody else does in this city, but there are certain things about his game that I don't agree with some people about. I don't think Tyrese Maxey is a true point guard. I think Tyrese Maxey is at his best when he can do things off ball and he can have a shot created for him where somebody facilitates. There's an off-ball screen. Look at the last time he shot over 40% from three. It was when James Harden was on this team. It was the last time they had a true point guard, was when James Harden was on this team. LeBron James isn't a point guard. He's a point forward, and he can run this offense. the way he fits in with this basketball team is perfect. It is perfect. And now, not only do you have a great basketball fit, you have the face of the league coming to Philadelphia. We have earned this. We deserve this. For everybody that has gone through season and season and season with this Sixers team and falling well short of expectations, not getting out of the second round of the playoffs, being swept in the first round of the playoffs, having some really tough finishes to seasons where at a time we were talking about, could this be the year? Every year in the Joel Embiid era, we've talked about the path. This is the best path for him. This is the best path for them. This is the best roster that he's had. This is the deepest bench that he's had. And it still ended the same way, an elimination in the first or second round of the playoffs. For the first time in the entire Joel Embiid era, it is almost a guarantee that they get out of the second round. Like a guarantee. If they don't, I will be shocked if they don't get out of the second round of the playoffs this year. But I don't even want to worry about that right now. Right now, I just want to worry about the sheer excitement that we have the face of the league joining the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that was already going to have high expectations with them, and now the missing piece being the greatest basketball player of my generation, right? The only time I saw Michael Jordan in person, he was wearing a Wizards jersey when my dad took me to see the Sixers take on the Wizards so that I could tell my child one day that I saw Michael Jordan play. But you know what's freaking awesome? Me and my child, my 4-year-old son, can now go to a Sixers game together and reminisce years from now when he's helping me wipe my ass years from now. Hey, remember that time we saw LeBron James in person together with the Sixers? And that is something special for me, and that should be something that is special for every single Sixers fan. Even the people that weren't thrilled with the storyline of whether or not they were going to get LeBron James. Even the people that talked about not wanting LeBron James. And we'll address that later on at some point this show. I don't want to lead with the negativity or lead with the Debbie Downers or lead with the people that were trying to turn the lights off at your party, all right? Even though the people that didn't want him, if we are parading on Broad Street, it is all going to be freaking worth it. So today, the phone line, it's open. All right. I love the Davis Honda text line where you can feel the Davis difference by checking them out in Burlington. I love the text line. It's very important to me that I can communicate with you some way. But today is a day I want to hear your voices. One of my favorite days listening was this past Friday to Unfiltered from 2 to 6, listening to every member of the Fanatic calling in. Nick, I heard you call in, listening to callers that I haven't heard from years call into the station. It made me so happy. It made me think of a great time here at 97.5 The Fanatic where we were more of a community, and I really want to bring that community back. And maybe it starts with LeBron James signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. So the number to climb in is 610-632-0975. I want the party to continue. I have not been able to really sleep since the news dropped. Bill asked me on Friday when I called in, did you take a nap? No, I did not. Saturday morning when my wife woke up, how did you sleep? I didn't. And now Sunday, I actually got a little bit of rest yesterday, but I knew that the second I opened my eyes today, that I was ready to pop off on the station today and be a part of it. Play the song louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. LeBron James is a member of the Philadelphia 76ers, and we get the party all day long today. It'll continue all week, and it's going to go on all season long. So please be a part of the show today. 610-632-0975, as this is 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. The party's not over yet. It continues coming up next with you. Join us here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This is 97.5 LeBron. Home of King James. I'm Andrew Salciunas here until 1 o'clock with you. Special broadcast today. Why is it special? Because they got my ass out of my house on a Sunday, and I came in here to be a part of the party with you. I did not want to wait until 6 a.m. tomorrow. I did get in touch with John Kincade. He will call in later on today, 12:20. John Kincade will call in. How about Bob Cooney, Mr. 50-50 chance of LeBron James coming here? He'll be joining us at 11:20. And, of course, throughout the entire show, it's your calls at 610-632-0975 as this party continues. Now, before we get to some of the calls, shout out to our YouTube audience. More people than I expected, I'll be honest, on a Sunday. Welcome to the party. Everyone wants to be a part of it. My man, the Dominican Austin Wells, checks in. He talks about he has not drank this much on a weekend since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Ditto. I'm with you, man. It's been nonstop. And one of the cool things about news like this, yesterday was my nephew's birthday party, and it was at a local swim club. And, man, everybody there was wearing something Sixers related, whether it was a cutoff, a jersey, a hat. There was Sixers gear everywhere. And at the Phillies game, not that we want to talk about them at all today, seeing the amount of Sixers gear or LeBron James jerseys being thrown around, being worn around Citizens Bank Park this weekend, that's been an awesome sight, and that's what news like this brings. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I will not say their name out of sheer embarrassment for themselves. They don't really watch basketball all that much. And they asked me, well, is he really that good? And I'm just going to guess that his opinion was created by political talk and not necessarily basketball talk. And obviously there's a side of the political spectrum that's not the biggest fan of LeBron James. That's not what the point I'm getting at here is. But all I know is his opinion was shifted in a certain way. And I go, that was the most incorrect, inaccurate thing that you have ever said in your life. And that's fine because you don't really watch basketball all that much. There are going to be more basketball fans in the city of Philadelphia than ever before. There are going to be people that have not really been watching Sixers basketball over the years, and maybe they're back. Maybe the disappointing finishes over the years has just led to them not being involved as much. Or maybe somebody has been watching since they had Allen Iverson. Maybe somebody didn't like the process. This new move for the Sixers brings in a lot of new Philadelphia Sixers fans, and I'm so excited for that because to me, the bigger the party, the better it is, that the house is rocking. I love it. All right, before we get to the calls, I want to play how it sounded because I think back to moments in my career where I was on the air when big news happened. Carson Wentz being traded to Indianapolis, I was on the air when it happened. James Harden coming to Philadelphia, I was on the air with my man Anthony when that happened. There have been some big moments, but, man, none of these rival what happened Friday at 11:30. When we're sitting there listening to Sean Brace talk about somebody's sex life, I don't even know what the context was at this point, but Sean Brace is talking about somebody's sex life, and then the incredible, just human reaction from Ray Dunn. Not Radio Ray, like Sixers fan Ray Dunn, and the reaction was incredible. Here's how it sounded Friday morning.
As always, as I like to say, yeah, we've had romances in our life, but...
Whoa! What do you got? Whoa! Give me breaking news here. Holy... This is Shams Charania. LeBron James is signing with the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal with a player option. Clutch Sports has put this one out. This has just come across the timeline. LeBron James is a 76er. We got the news on a Friday, which we did not anticipate. We got the news that he's coming to Philadelphia after we had lost our belief that it was going to happen. Breaking. This is Shams Charania again, just coming down on Twitter. LeBron James is signing with the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal with a player option. Clutch Sports and Clutch CEO and Game Over show host Rich Paul tells ESPN.
Oh, my God. You can hear the excitement from Ray, and it was just so perfect. It was perfect. I got to give that guy a lot of credit because that is a really tough spot to be in because you could really screw that up. And trust me, there are some people in this city that have really screwed that up this week. Let's go to Eric in Conshohocken. What's up, Eric?
Andrew, what's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, man? How are you, dude?
How could you not be good today, right?
Dude, I'll be honest. How can we not be good over the next couple months? Right? Like, we won't see the Sixers play for some time still, which sucks that we have to wait this long, but that's just the way that it is. And you know they're going to be good. Like, I am in such a good mood, man, that I've been beaming all weekend. I can only imagine that you have been as well.
I've had a hard time sleeping the past 2 nights just thinking about how good they're going to be. And you know what? I don't understand anybody who doesn't like this move. I wanted this from the start. I thought he was the perfect fit for what they needed to facilitate everything, to bring everything together and mentor these young players like Edgecombe and even Maxey a little bit. And, you know, they're adding pieces. This Caldwell Pope's a pretty decent player off the bench.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Another NBA champion.
2-time NBA champion.
Yeah.
So, I really think they have a good chance. You have to see how it gels together, but I really think that, you know, Nurse is an experienced coach who knows how to deal with talent, knows how to deal with people who need the ball and, you know, some egos. I think he's going to manage that effectively. I really see this, you know, it may take some time because you got to build that chemistry, but I think they're going to have a real good shot to beat the Knicks.
Absolutely. I mean, this roster is stacked. And the best thing, Eric, and thanks for the call, I'm glad that you mentioned guys like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. We have Anthony Simons now. Dean Wade, who was going to be your starting power forward, is now coming off the bench. The Sixers now have a bench. Like, what is going to get lost in the excitement of LeBron James? Duh. Like, it's going to get lost in the excitement of LeBron James because it's LeBron freaking James, man. Is the fact that the Sixers are also now deep. They have 3 guys off the bench that could start on a lot of teams. They have 3 guys coming off the bench where we're probably not going to be saying, the bench is coming on the court. Here comes the 15-0 run for the opposing team. Now, all of a sudden, you actually have a deep roster coupled with the fact that you have LeBron James. And to his point about Nick Nurse found a way to make it work with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, I'm not going to say are very similar styles of players, but guys that can bring up the ball up the court, and they're not the traditional point guard, and you run the offense through them, and they get everybody else involved as well. This is something that Nick Nurse, I can only imagine. We're talking about us not being able to sleep, Eric, the caller, not being able to sleep. If I'm Nick Nurse, dude, I haven't gone to bed at all. I've been doing nothing but having a pen and paper and writing things down and coming up with ideas. All right, the reaction will continue, okay? This show is going till 1 o'clock. The party is going on until 1 o'clock. Actually, the party's continuing with D. Lynam until 4. But I know that this party, me sober party, and then me drinking party ends at 1 o'clock. So we continue getting your reaction, and you will continue hearing reaction throughout the NBA. You heard Ray Dunn's report. What about Shams Charania? Because there was a lot of confusion when it first happened. There were a lot of people all around basketball surprised. You'll hear Shams talk about that, and then I will ask why you're surprised. It's Andrew Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, don't worry. We will check the Davis on a text line where we feel the Davis difference by checking them out in Burlington. I promise we will check the text line, but I need to hear your excitement. Like, it's one thing to text in and say, I'm so happy that the Sixers got LeBron James, but you might be saying it like Jalen Hurts after a big win. Like, I want to hear you frothing at the mouth when you're talking about your excitement for the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes, like that. Like that. Like, that's better than a text today. All right, like the text line's important, but that is better than a text right there. All right, here was Shams Charania. Of course, when the news breaks, he's everywhere, right? He's on McAfee. He's on every ESPN show that you can imagine. Every ESPN NBA pundit was working overtime when that news drops randomly on a Friday morning. Come on, LeBron, Sunday night. Monday morning, 6:05, so I had a show going. Like, that would have been nice, but it's okay. You're LeBron. You can do whatever you want. This was Shams talking about the decision for LeBron James to go to Philadelphia.
He really had to sit with it and figure out, what does it look like going to Philadelphia? What are your living conditions going to be there? Do you want to play with these players? We know, over the last year, there was a back and forth with Jaylen Brown and LeBron James. They seem to have patched it up in their public comments, and I know those two sides have had some level of communication, whether it's Jaylen Brown to Rich Paul, or in some form or fashion, there being communication between all of those sides. And so LeBron James was able to make a decision literally based in figuring out where he feels like he has the best chance to win a championship and compete at a high level. And so today's decision, if anything, is LeBron James making it clear that he wants to go play in Philadelphia because he believes the Sixers have a better chance to win a championship.
And that last line is why. Shams also talked about how there were a lot of teams around the NBA that were shocked that LeBron picked Philadelphia. Why? It almost makes me think that I could be a GM in the NBA or a president of basketball operations in the NBA. Because here I am in this little studio looking at the rosters that LeBron James was picking between, and his best chance to win was Philadelphia. His second best chance to win wasn't even the final three teams that kept on getting talked about. His chances with Minnesota would have been better than Cleveland or Miami. Miami, he had the least chance of winning a championship, in my opinion. And so when people around basketball are shocked that he picked Philadelphia, I have to question their intelligence because he fits perfectly with this basketball team. And if you've listened to everything that has been said, between Rich Paul on the podcast with Max Kellerman, between every single reporter, Dave McMenamin, who was on with us just a couple of weeks ago on Kincade and Salciunas, so many different people talking about what LeBron James wants. LeBron James wanted to play for a contender, so Philadelphia is one of those. LeBron James didn't want to have to be the reason why a team is winning. He wanted to be a part of a team that was winning. Philadelphia's roster is stacked. He wanted to have help defense. That was something that was talked about a lot. Well, VJ Edgecombe is a guy that can help you out defensively. And oh, by the way, how about two-way player Jaylen Brown? He can be a very big help defensively for the Philadelphia 76ers. He wanted to be loved and appreciated, is what Dave McMenamin said on this station, on Kincade and Salciunas. There is no better place to look for love and appreciation than Philadelphia. All right, Miami would celebrate, and then they'd show how excited they are by showing up in the third quarter. Philadelphia will be lining up at the door hours before tip-off to get inside to see LeBron James warm up. People are going to be in their seats to watch LeBron James throw chalk up in the air. That's why when you listen to everything that was said about LeBron and what he wanted, I didn't understand the people that were surprised that he went with Philadelphia. I honestly thought Golden State was more of a threat than any of the other teams that have been mentioned, because if he did want to end his career having fun, it would be fun as a basketball fan watching LeBron James and Steph Curry. I would have felt less pain as a Sixers fan if the announcement came out that he was joining Steph Curry with the Warriors. I would have felt less pain. It would have been more painful if he went to Cleveland or Miami for me. If he went to Golden State, I would have said, all right, that's a really cool basketball story the next 2 years, is watching those two guys play with one another, all right? But no, if you want to talk about winning a championship, that wasn't going to happen there. It could absolutely happen here. Let's go to G in Philly. G, you're on 97.5 LeBron.
What's up, Andrew? Good
What's
morning.
up, brother? How are you, man?
I'm stoked. I'm hype. I'm not surprised. I'm not saying this just because it happened. I knew Golden State, he would be following Kevin Durant's legacy of what he did. Miami, I was a little afraid, the no tax, income tax, this, that, and the other. But he's been there, done that. In Cleveland, the same thing, been there, done that. I trust LeBron's brain, his intelligence to know that this was the best chance to get a chip. Other people talking about the city, I think it was more the city and not the basketball part of it. I think it was more the city, the bad rap. But people don't realize the tax brackets in the surrounding areas. I think his lifestyle will be fine here.
By the way, LeBron James doesn't have to worry about a freaking tax bracket. All right? Like, you know who has to worry about a tax bracket? You and me, G. Like, we have to worry about the LeBron James goes taxes. All right, here you go. Here's a couple extra million. Like, let me go produce another movie. I'll get that covered.
Exactly. But I love the bench. I think we still need Nick Richards. I think he will seal the deal. I don't know if he's been picked up yet. I love what we did with KCP, but Nick Richards is the one big that can play on the floor and spot minutes with Joel and score and defend. Joel will be able to rest in the fourth quarter like he did 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. His minutes in the fourth quarter of resting will accumulate to about 10 games. He will still be able to be effective like he did 2 years ago, averaged 30, and basically sat the fourth quarter half of the season. I love what we did. I love the ownership. I'm not going to get all about the ownership. Bob Myers, Kanzi, I love everything.
You know what, G? I'm going to say this, man. Thanks for the call, brother. Great hearing from you. I'm so happy that you're excited, and I love that you're thinking about the next move for the Sixers. G, you could play backup big right now for this team. Josh Harris deserves an applause. All right? I know I've had the very on an island take in Philadelphia the last couple of years. Very much on an island. That I don't think Josh Harris is a bad owner for your basketball team. I don't. And I'm talking basketball. All right? Basketball. I don't think Josh Harris knows much about the sport of basketball, but I know that he knows how to be a businessman. And I know that Josh Harris has been willing to spend every dollar that he could over the years in order to try to win. We can talk about ducking the tax all we want. All right. Last year, it was horrific, the Jared McCain trade. Are we even going to think about Jared McCain moving forward? Like, no, that storyline's over.
But, Andrew, everyone ducks the tax.
Yeah,
everyone's going under the second apron.
And, oh, by the way, 2 years ago when they ducked the tax, people were upset when they ducked the tax 2 years ago. They were like 20 games under 500. Like, why did you care? Josh Harris did talk to LeBron at Fanatics Fest. Was he the reason why he signed with the Sixers? Maybe not. But there were a lot of people. All right, I'm looking at all of you. There were a lot of people that were making the jokes, or maybe you weren't even joking and you were being serious. Uh-oh, now LeBron's definitely not coming here because he talked to Josh Harris. Josh Harris did not become a billionaire being an idiot. All right, the guy's a good businessman, and he has tried. And I'm not saying this as Andrew Salciunas on the home of the Sixers in partnership with the Sixers. I'm not saying that. I'm being honest with you. John Middleton has not won anything, but all he does is keep on opening up his wallet, and I appreciate that from my ownership group. Jeffrey Lurie always opens up his wallet. I appreciate that from my ownership group. We see cheap owners all the time in sports, and we're lucky enough right now in Philadelphia where we're not getting that. We're getting ownership groups that are trying to spend money because they want to be the number one relevant team in the city. And so I know that there are things to say about Josh Harris, but as long as he keeps up opening up this wallet, that's all that matters to me. Let the basketball people make the basketball decisions. The big difference is he now has the true basketball people in-house. I'm not trying to take a shot at Daryl Morey, but Daryl Morey was so deep into analytics, so deep into his beliefs, so deep into, all right, veterans win, and I don't need a deep bench. I just need like 7 really, really good basketball players. Daryl Morey, the game of basketball kind of escaped him a little bit. It worked years ago. It doesn't work anymore. You need to be able to have depth. And the Sixers, even with LeBron James signing here, you look at this roster up and down, you go, all right, this team has depth. And that is what matters. And the opening up of the wallet is the only thing that I care about from my ownership group. I don't need them making decisions roster-wise. I just need them to open up the wallet, and Josh Harris continues to do that. And so I will give Josh Harris some love in that. When it comes to that, I will give Josh Harris love. All right, coming up next, as we continue to celebrate and continue to react, I want more of your calls. I want more of your texts. Save us on the text line, but I want to hear your voices. The voice memo is also something that you can utilize today because I want to hear your sheer excitement as this party continues at 610-632-0975. There was also something really cool when news like this breaks. Yeah, you see Kentavious Caldwell-Pope sign with the Sixers because of the buyout. You also see a lot of former players chime in on social media, and I will read you some of the tweets coming up next. This is Andrew Salciunas on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. Here on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. And when news like this breaks, a lot of people get to talking. And, you know, credit to LibertyBallers.com for putting together the sort of the list of tweets of people reacting to the big news. And one that's not on here was one that made me smile the most because I start thinking about all the former Sixers players that are like, man, I wish I was a part of the ride. And one of them, cult hero of Philadelphia, Richaun Holmes. Richaun Holmes was one of the guys that first went to social media that says, man, Bron to Philly, that's wild for real. Hey, if y'all need one more, I already know my way around the city. Richaun Holmes, like, I love that. I love that there are people that are saying, all right, let me chime in on this. I love that Governor Shapiro made it LeBron Day, even though I still think it's a little weak because Connor and I were coming up with ideas that if LeBron James signed, we'd allow him to do certain things. So I said LeBron James should be allowed to sign the Declaration of Independence. Connor said that he should be allowed to ring the Liberty Bell. So if we're really serious about making this a big deal that LeBron James is with the Sixers, there are some more things that we have to allow. Dawn Staley, Philly basketball legend, chiming in with the video showing her excitement with the Sixers getting LeBron James. But then there's some other people that have chimed in. One being Mark Zumoff, right? Like, you start to get the chills when you start hearing some of the names that have chimed in. Mark Zumoff tweets out about an hour after the Sixers get LeBron, hang on, Sixers fans, we are coming in for a landing. Like, that was great to hear. One of the old catchphrases of Mark Zumoff, the many years of him doing play-by-play for the Philadelphia 76ers. But I'm going to tell you guys a story real quick. So Friday, I went down the hall to see my friends over at WMMR, our sister station, because they stole our arcade machine. So if you didn't see the video on social media, I went down the hall, and then I stole Ryan Shuttleworth, who's one of the producers of the President Steve show. I threw him over my shoulder, and I walked down the hall. And then I had to let him go back and do his job because it's President Steve, so I'd be fired if that show got messed up at all. And sitting there on the couch awaiting his turn was Matt Cord, because Matt Cord does the midday show over at WMMR. And I said it a couple of weeks ago on the air that if the Sixers land LeBron James, I would be stunned if Matt Cord did not say, you know what, fine, one more year. All right, I will do one more year of introductions and being the in-arena voice of the Philadelphia 76ers. And then on Friday, I'm not going to give too much information out. When I saw him, this was before the news broke. I was like, Matty, by the way, man, like, if it happened, like, you know, and there was a smile on his face. I don't know what's going to happen. All right, I'm not trying to speak out of turn. I'm not trying to, like, make it seem like anything's going to go down. I just said, yo, dude, like, if they sign LeBron James, man, come on. I can't go a Sixers season without hearing this.
At 6'9", from St. Vincent, St. Mary's, number 23, LeBron James! James! James!
Oh, my God. Like, I have chills, dude. Chills. And in case you didn't hear it live, that was Matty Cord on with Ray Dunn and Sean Brace. He came down the hall and did the introduction because maybe it was a sneak peek or maybe it was a, hey, if we never get to hear it in the arena, what would it sound like? And it was great to hear Matt Cord do that. So regardless of what the decision is, we know that's the bigger decision now, right? Now that LeBron signed with the Sixers, the next decision is whether or not Matt Cord returns in arena for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Tunis, there's no decision. He's got to come back.
He's got to do it.
He's got to come back.
He has to do it, man, because that building would be so electric every single night. 41 regular season games of just electricity. And the crazy thing is, man, like, we're so well-versed with load management at this point. Every night you go, you are going to see, I would imagine, one of Tyrese Maxey, all-star starter, Jaylen Brown, finals MVP, LeBron James, do I have to even give him his accolades, or I will still say Joel Embiid, because I know that when Joel Embiid is playing, I'm expecting to see something amazing. If you ever watched The Incredibles, when the little kid saw Mr. Incredible pick up his car out of anger, and then the next day he was in the driveway again, and he goes, what are you doing here? And the little kid goes, waiting to see something amazing. If you go to a Sixers game, if Joel Embiid's on the court, I'm expecting to see something amazing. And even if he's not, I have LeBron James, I have Jaylen Brown, I have Tyrese Maxey, and the Sixers medical staff or the training staff, they can come up with any sort of strategy they want where one guy's off and one guy's on a given night. And Nick Nurse talk about strategy, when all 4 guys are in the lineup, and I will include VJ Edgecombe, when all 5 guys are in the lineup, there is not a second in a basketball game moving forward with the Sixers where you don't have 2 of the 5 on the court, unless they are up big, unless they can empty the bench with the final couple of minutes. Expect to see, when all 5 guys are active, at least 2 on the court at all times. Let's go to Mo in Horsham as we continue the party here on 97.5 The Fanatic. What up, Mo? Can you punch him up there, Nick? I don't know what's going on there. Let's go to Mo. Mo, you're on The Fanatic. Yo, Mo, what's up, dude?
Dude, I am so freaking hyped. I was walking into the bathroom at the office, and I saw the Shams tweet on my watch. I said, screw this. I pushed my coworker. I swear he thought I was just trying to kill him or something. I was so hyped. My whole day turned around. I'm just thinking, I thought it was still a dream. Dude, I am so hyped. If he wants to leave after this year, I'll drive him right from the Art Museum steps all the way to Cleveland or where the hell he lives. I am so back.
Dude, I mean, I'm glad. So, like, where have you been when it comes to your Sixers patience? I'll say that because I know you're a fan. Like, even if you say, man, I was tired of watching them, you're still a fan. Like, where were you with your Sixers level of patience?
Well, at first, I was like, when we got Jaylen Brown, it was like that meme of the dude putting the clown makeup on. I was like, I'm ready to be hurt again.
Yeah.
But now I'm so in. I'm so in. We're going to be hoisting a trophy.
Yes, and look, I expect that too, right? Like, how great is that feeling that you legitimately think, all right, we can actually win? It's one thing to be like, if this goes our way, and if this goes our way, but no, this time around it's, all right, things have to go wrong for this team not to win.
Yep, and I have one more thing, Tunis.
Let me hear it.
Play the song!
Yes, play the song! Thanks, Mo. You're the man. Mo and Horsham. And look, we've been beaten down. We know it year after year after year. People lower than me have experienced this pain more than even I have. But we all know the pain together, man. And to have a day in July be a rebirth of Sixers fandom, or maybe not even a rebirth. For some people, they might be watching Sixers basketball for the first time. Look, I go back to 2022, and you can keep the music going. I don't want this music shutting off anytime soon, Nick. In 2022, when the Phillies got to the World Series, that run that started with the Rhys Hoskins bat spike off of Spencer Strider, there were people that I know that did not watch the Phillies texting me because they knew my love of the Phillies. There were people that were buying Phillies gear that maybe had not owned gear since the days of Rollins, Howard, and Utley. You're going to get that again with the Sixers. There will be people from all backgrounds, from all different walks of life, that just want to be a part of the party. And that's one of the cool things about sports in 2026. I think 10, 15, 20 years ago, it's you're a fan or you're not. Now it's, dude, I don't care if you know X's and O's in basketball. Do you want to play the song and drink a beer with me and just go to a bar and celebrate with everybody else? You're a part of the family. Let's go. This move is bigger than sports, but in a town like this, that's all that it's about. It's about basketball and sheer excitement. All right, coming up next, we will continue the party. More texts, more calls, and more reaction from around the NBA. There were pundits that were still shocked by it, and something that I can't wait to do later on in the 11 o'clock hour. It was the reaction from around the world, including the teams that weren't picked. This is Andrew Salciunas here on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. This is 97.5 LeBron, home of King James. And I keep on getting asked, are we on YouTube today? Yes, we are on YouTube today. You can watch the show live. You can listen on 97.5 The Fanatic. You can listen on the app. But if you want to see my screaming face and basically me trying to wipe away tears throughout this entire show, because this is one of the biggest days of my life, and this is Sunday. Like, I'm back on the air tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock with Johnny the K, who will be joining us coming up in the 12 o'clock hour today. You can watch the show live on YouTube. Again, shout out to Brendan Dutz, who's in today, working some overtime, getting the YouTube action going. And all of you that are a part of the YouTube action. Like, I'm looking at the comments. People are talking ball. People are having a good time. I hope you guys are... you can have a beer. It's beautiful out.
It's past 10.
Yeah, like, honestly, dude, it's 11 o'clock. LeBron James signed with the Sixers. Like, go, have yourself a beer. I'm rocking my Corona shirt. Like, Sixers. Oh, man, by the way, dude, I do the Sixers watch parties with Corona.
Right.
I've been doing them for years, and they're fun. Like, they're always fun. I can't wait for another year of it, Corona. Like, let's make this happen again. Because now we're doing watch parties that include LeBron freaking James on the Sixers. It's a damn party today. I'm taking you until 1 o'clock. D-Lina will be on from 1 to 4 today as you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live here in the studios of The Fanatic. I was about to say the old legal, as this is 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. All right, I know you said that we have a text. I want to read this text. Then we have a couple of audio bits for you from Brian Windhorst, who, remember, at one point thought vibes were screaming Cleveland. He thought Miami from a basketball standpoint, and he ends up choosing Philadelphia. That's not a shot at Windy. Nobody knew where he was going. Rich Paul was laughing at people. My man, Adam Schefter. Did you hear that Rich Paul called out Shefty on the podcast? He was like, oh, man, Adam Schefter, he got sold a bad lemon. I'm going to have to address that with Shefty coming up this upcoming Wednesday when he joins Kincade and Salciunas. But we had a text earlier that Nick told me during the break about another player the Sixers should acquire, a player, speaking of Rich Paul, is pushing for. And I can't believe I'm going to say what I'm going to say, but go for it, Nick. What did the texter say? Who's it from?
All right, so we got a text coming in. No name to this text. Shocker, because this is a little controversial. We need Ben Simmons as the backup center. Yes, I know how it ended was sour, but he's 30 now. I truly believe he has turned a new leaf, and he means it when he says he's mentally ready. Also, we don't need him to shoot now. He can orchestrate the backup unit of Philon, Simons, KCP, and Wade, who are all shooters. Once that happens, this team is complete.
Let me say something. I have zero respect for Ben Simmons. None. I've made my points abundantly clear. I don't like the stuff that he pulled with the mental health in order to stop getting fined. And then we haven't really heard anything about that since then. And I don't like that. All right, as a mental health advocate and as somebody that has a lot of people in his life that struggle with it, I lost all respect for him as a person when that happened. If he wants to open up about it one day, all right, we can talk, but lost all respect. From a basketball standpoint, no respect for him. All right, from Ben Simmons, the NBA player, no respect for him, a guy that has been given God-given talent, God-given ability, and he just wasted it away because he cared more about what basketball brought him than the sport itself.
I am who I am. It is what it is.
That was a moment where, before anything that came out about mental health, that moment right there, I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, that clip right there is one of the all-time clips of my lifetime where I was offended by the individual for saying it. Like, you don't know how much we care about it, and that's what you have to say. But the texter's not wrong. Ben Simmons, from a basketball standpoint, at this stage, where you're not asking him to be the chosen one or whatever his nicknames were, the Prince of Philly, like all those things, right? The next LeBron James. Ben Simmons is a backup big, and the athleticism that he shows, you're not asking him to shoot. You're asking him to catch the lob and flush it. You're asking him to play defense where he can guard all five positions. Regardless of what we think about Ben Simmons, what he is still good at, he's really, really good at facilitating, being that athletic freak, and being able to guard all five positions on a basketball court. And if LeBron James is talking about wanting defensive help, Ben Simmons provides that for you. I trust Ben Simmons more than Huck Purdy. I trust Ben Simmons a hell of a lot more than a Dem Bona. It's time to get serious with this basketball team. It's time to play smart. And there are some guys on this roster still that I don't trust. Ben Simmons doesn't have to do much. And, I don't want to lose the point of today's show. The point of today's show is celebrating LeBron James. So I don't want to spend much more time on the texter saying that Ben Simmons makes sense. But the texter's not wrong. Ben Simmons makes sense, and this is the one time that I will be open to it. All right? Because I am so happy. I am on cloud 9 that there is not a move that the Sixers can make other than maybe signing a murderer where I will get upset with any roster move that they make.
Can I push back just a little bit on the Simmons thing?
Sure.
Do you have any concern about the back problems he's had since he left the Sixers?
Oh, wow, he can't play tonight? Damn.
I know,
he's the 15th guy.
I know, but I'm saying, if you want him to actually contribute a little bit and hopefully turn into this thing, that would be great. But the back problems, I'm out.
Dude, you're signing him for nothing, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then he is who he is. It is what it is.
You want to bring him in here, though? Ruin the vibes. The vibes are high right now. Do we want to bring him down?
Yeah, but, part of me feels like LeBron James. All right, it sounds deep. LeBron James can get everybody together, man.
I hope.
I'm serious. There are people saying, man, do you really need to get LeBron James here to get Joel Embiid's act together? Screw it. If that's the case, then go for it. If Joel Embiid gets his act together because of LeBron James, great. If Ben Simmons gets his act together because of LeBron James, that's awesome. If everybody gets their act together, that's part of the reason why he is considered one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. Not just because of his own ability, but what he brings to a locker room. So this is the one time I'll be open for it. When people were saying the nonsense of bringing in Ben Simmons last year and 2 years ago, it was nonsense. I didn't want to hear the conversation. This is the one time I'll be open to it. One time. And it's because he plays a very specific role for this team and nothing else. All right? Now, here's some clips from Brian Windhorst, because Brian Windhorst was talking about the Sixers players that were communicating with LeBron James, not Ben Simmons. Maybe he did text Ben Simmons. I don't know. Maybe Ben Simmons is the reason why he's here. We found out later on down the road that Jason Worth is a big reason why Bryce Harper signed with the Phillies when he was not a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. Maybe Ben Simmons is a big reason. I don't know. That story will come out eventually. Here was Brian Windhorst talking about how integral part of this conversation was for LeBron James to sign with the Sixers that the Sixers players were.
In the last few days, LeBron kept having conversations with some of Philly's players. Joel Embiid obviously was a key conversation, and I don't think Philly really loved their positioning in the running with a few days ago. They had made their pitch. Their big pitch was trading for Jaylen Brown. But LeBron kept reaching out to the 76ers players, and it gave them hope that they were still involved. And really, as of yesterday, I really don't think anybody had any insight as to where LeBron was going.
And I want to bring up a report from my man Tony Jones, who covers the Sixers for The Athletic, who has been joining Kincade and Salciunas ever since the start of this past season, because he made his way back home, because he's from Philadelphia, but he's been covering the Utah Jazz the last couple of years. Per league sources, Joel Embiid was a heavy figure in LeBron's recruitment, and that recruitment lasted throughout the process. And this is why I refused to acknowledge how come he hasn't tweeted about Jaylen Brown yet? How come Joel Embiid hasn't gone on any social media accounts and celebrated the arrival of Jaylen Brown? He must hate this, and he's going to be angry, and he's going to demand a trade, and him and Jaylen Brown must have beef because he called him a flopper. Oh, man, this is horrible. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. We don't always have to be the first one with the take. Joel Embiid was quiet. Joel Embiid did not have to go to social media. You know, there is this thing called the phone where I could call someone and say, hey, welcome to the team. Whenever this new morning show starts, whoever it might be, I'm going to tell you something now. I'm going to call said individual before I put out any tweet, because that's how I roll. And maybe that's how Joel Embiid rolls, that Joel Embiid takes his phone and calls Jaylen Brown and doesn't feel the need to go on Twitter.com. So Joel Embiid, according to Tony Jones, is a big reason why LeBron James was here from the recruitment standpoint. And, of course, so was Tyrese Maxey. And there was the report a couple of weeks ago that Tyrese Maxey was the guy that was in constant communication, the number one communicator with LeBron James. And it's because they're both under the Clutch Group, and it's because they work out with each other during the summer. And this was Brian Windhorst talking about how important Tyrese Maxey was throughout the process.
I think you could make a case for Cleveland, you make a case for Miami, but the 76ers had two enormous things going for them in this situation. Number one, they had Tyrese Maxey, a clutch client who is a star player. I can't say that enough. LeBron's comfort level and connection with Tyrese Maxey going back to when he was in college, to when he joined, that is a factor here. Cleveland did not have that. Miami did not have that.
And that's why I always thought it was real. Back in 2018, Nick, July of 2018, back when we had weekend programming going past the hour of 4 o'clock, I was on the air, and it was just before midnight when the news broke that LeBron was signing with the Lakers. And even though I never really thought it was that likely, there was a chance. And I knew that the LeBron to LA just made so much sense, but there was a basketball chance. And we stayed on the air for an extra 2 hours that night. We stayed on until 2 o'clock in the morning. I only remember, forgive me, I forget who the producer was at the time, but we were on until 2 o'clock in the morning reacting to LeBron James signing with the Lakers. This time around, it felt real. It felt absolutely real. And I am still pinching myself, making sure that I am actually living this life and I'm not just dreaming it. All right, coming up next, you heard Wendy mention Cleveland and Miami. We have clips from around the world, local radio broadcasts reacting to the news. Not Philadelphia. We have radio hosts from Miami. We have radio hosts from Cleveland. We have radio hosts from the Bay Area, all reacting to LeBron James not picking them. You will hear those clips coming up next. More of your reaction as well. We have texts on the Davis Honda text line, but I want to hear your voices, people. Come on, be a part of the party. Don't be outside. Be inside. 610-632-0975 is the number to call in so that I can hear your voice, so I can hear your excitement in these damn headphones. We continue with audio from around the world of denial here on 97.5 The Fanatic. believe it, man. Like the amount of texts that flew in on my personal number, I have missed call. I haven't gotten back to people, like missed calls. Like yesterday was a busy day. I had my nephew's birthday party. You know, I was his family, so we were there for hours. And then here I am today, and Friday was such a freaking, like, I couldn't contain myself, dude. Like, I could not contain myself. I couldn't sit down. I was all over the place. I had to go for a drive just to kind of like get hit with some air. Like, I couldn't believe it was happening. So if you're listening and you called me and I haven't gotten back to you, I'm sorry. I will soon. Like, my man Tasty Cake Dom called me like 3 times. I'm like, brother, I'll get back to you. I'm sorry.
Give me a couple minutes, you know?
I'll get back to you. Man, the party continues. But it's a party here in Philadelphia because we are thrilled. We're fired up. We're excited. Can't say the same about some other areas across the United States of America because there were other teams that thought they had a shot. It's funny, man. I mean it. Like, this wasn't me, like, trying to be a different opinion. If we were talking basketball, Minnesota would have been the second team. Philadelphia, number 1. Timberwolves, number 2. Him and Anthony Davis and what McDaniels could do for them, like that, like from a basketball standpoint, like it was Minnesota. But I knew he wasn't going to sign with the Timberwolves. Like LeBron James was not going to leave Miami, L.A. to Minnesota. Like he wasn't going to do that.
Never happened.
Like I know it gets cold here, but like at least there's things to do. I didn't think the Minnesota thing really had much legs to it. And that's why I didn't see much of a reaction from the fine people of Minnesota. But where we did get reaction was people from the Bay Area, which you will hear last because, oh, man, oh, they're great. West Palm Beach, Florida, because they were looking for content. And, of course, Cleveland. And Cleveland was the first one that I saw. I sent this to Nick when I knew that you were producing the show. I was like, dude, I need this. 92.3 The Fan is in Cleveland. And I love this because when you think about stages of denial and grief, the first stage is anger. And the cheap shots that you have to take at Philadelphia because your sorry-ass town with your barely football team that play like they barely win. Your Cleveland Browns, your Guardians ownership group doesn't spend any money, and now that LeBron James doesn't sign with the Cavaliers, you're like, oh damn, we're not going to win anything here either. This was Nick Wilson and what's this guy's name? Jonathan Peterlin of Cleveland reacting to the LeBron picking the Sixers.
For some reason, I don't know why, Philadelphia didn't bother me the same way that the other teams would have bothered me.
You know, the only way it bothers me is the fact that their sports fans are awful human beings. It's a good sports town. I want to make this a clear distinction. Philadelphia is a phenomenal sports town because their fans care about their team. The problem is they're all awful people in Philadelphia.
Not all awful people.
They are all. Sorry, not all. No, but Philly sports fans are the worst human beings in Philadelphia. They are violent.
Well, they throw batteries at Santa Claus. That's not great.
Spoiled.
We saw the All-Star game how they were booing kids. But that's the passion that LeBron has talked about celebrating over 20 plus years now.
Yeah, we'll see.
He talked about it, how much he loves the Philly sports fan, how much he appreciates that the Philly sports fan is a diehard and won't root for any other teams and is solely focused on Philadelphia teams. Like he's openly talked about some of this stuff.
Yep, and he's about to learn firsthand because LeBron.
Yeah, they will boo him if he sucks.
No, not even if he sucks.
They will boo him.
It's not even if he sucks. If he's just okay.
And the funny thing is, LeBron James is being cheered by Sixers fans earlier this year. When LeBron James, when they were down 9 and brought the Lakers back and gave them the lead late in the fourth quarter, there were Sixers fans that were applauding his greatness. It wasn't like, yeah, go Lakers, beat the Sixers. It was just like, oh, my God, we're watching one of the greatest players in the history of the sport take over a basketball game at the age of 40 and beat our team. It was almost like when Josh Beckett throws a no-hitter against the Phillies, there were Phillies fans giving a standing ovation.
They gave a standing O to Michael Jordan when he finished his career out here with the Wizards.
Yeah.
So
but that was like, thank you for everything that you did for the sport. LeBron was actively beating the Sixers, but it was so amazing that you couldn't help yourself but applaud it because you're like, oh, my God, this is why this guy is in the conversations. Say whatever you want about whether or not he's 1 or 2 or 3. The fact that he's in the conversation of top 3 basketball players in the history of the sport goes to show you how great he is. And people were celebrating that here. Throw snowballs, sand, and batteries, and blah, blah. Yeah, wow. Something that happened 60 years ago. Thanks a lot, guys. Now, who was the host in West Palm Beach, Florida?
Mike Rizzo.
All right, Mike Rizzo. Here's his reaction because LeBron did not pick the Heat.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that the Philly fan gets LeBron James. It's not fair. That godforsaken fan base gets LeBron? How? When? What planet am I living in that Philly fan gets to enjoy LeBron James? Bron, I don't understand why you're going to Philly. I don't think anyone thinks you need another ring. Bron, you don't need another ring. I got to look at the end of that godforsaken jersey and that horrific jersey with those disgusting fans. Remember last year when they were egging the offensive coordinator's house? I mean, it's a disgusting fan base.
Yeah, 2 idiots threw eggs at a house. 2 idiots that should be behind bars. All right, like, it's so funny, man. Oh, it's disgusting fan base. Meanwhile, did you hear how much of a loser answer that was? Or that was such a loser take. Bro, you don't need to win another ring. So what you are admitting is that you wanted LeBron James to sign with Miami for just what, content? Like, that's it. Like, you admitted your reaction is he made the right basketball decision by signing with the Sixers because he could try to win his 4th ring. You just admitted that because you're saying that if he signed here, he wasn't going to win a championship. So why are you so upset? You have palm trees to look at during the months of November and December and January and February. Enjoy that.
It's not fair.
You already said that you weren't going to win anyway, so why are you complaining? And then lastly, the Bay Area, they're great. They are great at hating people hundreds and hundreds and hundreds miles away because this radio station, where our old program director, Matt Nahagian, is a part of, they hate us because of the Eagles 49ers thing from years ago. And because they came here to watch the 49ers get mollywopped out of that building. And they cried because they got booed at when they were walking into the stadium. Here was their reaction to the Sixers landing LeBron James.
Breaking news from Shams Charania. The decision has been made. LeBron James is signing with the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal with a player option. Clutch Sports Group and Clutch CEO and Game Over show host Rich Paul tells ESPN. There it is. LeBron James is taking his talents to Philadelphia, and he will be a Philadelphia 76er. Again, this is a 2-year, $8 million deal with a player option. Clutch Sports is telling ESPN.
2 years for $8 million?
Plus, three more years, essentially. 2 to 3 more years. And
so the Warriors missed out.
All righty. So that concludes our 49ers talk for today. LeBron James is going to the Philadelphia 76ers here.
Oh, my God. Philly. Bob Myers landed LeBron.
Bob did it again.
Bob Myers landed LeBron, and we couldn't. Wow. So LeBron to Philly. All right, so just let's go right. Let's get right to it. Are you disappointed now? You waited out on LeBron James for 20-some-odd days. We weren't involved. We didn't do enough to lure him. Whatever. Like, how's everyone feeling?
Honestly,
is this a colossal disaster? Were we just never going to be in it?
My disappointment. Honestly, I'm more disappointed in his decision than the fact that it's not the Warriors.
Why?
Like, Philly? You're going to attach yourself to some super team that you have no real connection to?
Embiid's a super team now?
Well, he's got Jaylen Brown there, too. Tyrese Maxey's pretty good.
Sure, but, like, I don't consider that a super team. That's just my personal opinion.
I know you got a lot of talent on that team now. It's easily the best team in the East right now.
That's awesome.
And I think that was even before LeBron James signed on there. I think the Sixers were probably...
You're really, like, the first thing you think of is you're like, I can't believe the Philly.
Like, really?
They are just scrambling, and it always comes back to Philly, right? Like, those fans, those people, you want to go there? LeBron James is going to feel more appreciation from this city than he has in years in L.A., more appreciation from this city than he has in years of L.A. Look, honestly, dude, the second he walks onto the court and the first quarter, the stadium's filled, the arena's filled, he'll feel more appreciation than he did with Miami. And then Cleveland, he'll always have appreciation from Cleveland because he's from there. It's home. He's going to see a different level of appreciation than he probably has in his entire career. Like, it is different here. And I love that. And all these other cities can think about is, the bad people of Philadelphia. All right, coming up next, good people of Philadelphia. Bob Cooney will be joining the show. If you remember on Middays with Marks, he said 50-50 chance. He felt good about it. It happened. He joins us next here on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. 50-50 chance. It's one hell of a coin flip. Do you get LeBron James or do you not get LeBron James? And we got LeBron James. LeBron James is a Philadelphia 76er. I played 2K last night, and somebody, God bless you, somebody does the updated rosters all the time because it's 2K26, and I updated it, and I played with LeBron James. And that's not the first time I've done that. Like, when I was, 12, I was playing with LeBron James on the Sixers because I would just put him on there because I love LeBron James that much, and I love the Sixers that much. And I am actually able to say in real life, not for a video game, that LeBron James is a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. And the man that said 50-50 chance not that long ago from on Pattison, Bob Cooney. Bobby, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you today?
Bob, I am great. This is one of the best days of my life because I get to talk to you. That's why. You made this day even better. Bob, you've been covering the Sixers for a couple of years now. The magnitude of LeBron James is bigger than basketball. So before you even talk about what it means for the city of Philadelphia, just your years of covering the league, not just the Sixers, but covering the NBA, how do you describe the magnitude that is LeBron James?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, it is different. And I've seen it for years and years, whether he was coming to Philadelphia or I was covering the Sixers series against the Miami Heat when he was down there. LeBron James is just a different being when it comes to the NBA. And there's a handful of those guys that I've seen through the years. It's Kobe Bryant, it's Allen Iverson, it's LeBron James, it's Michael Jordan. And, it's just a difference, not only on the basketball court, Andrew, but just what he brings, the amount of when he would come to Philadelphia, no matter who he was with, Cleveland, the Lakers, Miami, there is just an aura that he brings to the basketball court. And look, this guy is different. We talk about this, and I did a story on this years and years ago. LeBron James has as much talent as anyone that's ever played the basketball game. We know that. But there's a lot of really, really talented guys that have played in the NBA. They don't have that drive, that competitiveness that LeBron James has, that Allen Iverson had, that Kobe Bryant had, that Michael Jordan. I mean, he's right there with those guys, and it is unbelievable to see on a daily basis, and it just makes everyone around him a better basketball player immediately.
All right, so let's talk about that because you don't hear many former teammates of LeBron James complaining about LeBron James. You usually hear nothing but gratitude for playing with one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. There are people that question, all right, well, is he going to kick Joel Embiid into another gear? The disappointing endings of Sixers seasons over the last couple of years where it just seems like something was off, and it's why they can't ever get out of the second round. What does a LeBron James player, or LeBron James, I'm not going to say type of LeBron James because not many of them, what does LeBron James, not just the basketball player, but the leader, the person, do to a locker room like this where there's been some disappointing endings, but now everything is turned up to a whole different level?
Yeah, well, I mean, for Tyrese Maxey, for VJ Edgecombe, how do you not look at this guy and be like, whoa, this is what it's all about. This is my NBA for them growing up, right? It was LeBron James. It wasn't so much Michael Jordan because they're too young for that. This is their LeBron James. I think LeBron James had a big part of Joel Embiid wanting to go to the Olympics a few years ago to be around the best players. And, I know talking to him through the years, that was always something he wanted to do with All-Star games. I want to be around the best players. I want to pick their brains. I want to see how they go about it. If Joel Embiid is here with the Sixers this year, he'll probably be a better basketball player simply because of LeBron James. It's just he is that kind of aura that you don't take time off. And I've told this story 1,000 times. I don't know if I've told you. When he was with the Miami Heat, I remember talking to one of their PR people, and then I asked LeBron about it later. They had just gotten Ray Allen, and LeBron James went to leave the hotel to go to the gym before a game one day, and he's like, "Where's Ray?" And the PR guy said he got his own, ride over. He's at the arena already. LeBron got pissed, and LeBron was like, "Nobody beats me to the arena," and he made sure that he either went with Ray Allen or was there before Ray Allen. And we're talking at 3:30 for a 7 o'clock game, where the buses usually leave around 4:30. He doesn't want to get beat to an arena. He doesn't want to get beat on a basketball court. Like, This is just a different type of atmosphere that this Sixers organization, quite frankly, hasn't had since I've been covering them, and certainly needs, because I won't call them a losing organization. I wouldn't do that, but they certainly aren't a winning one over the last 10, 15 years that I've been around them.
Now, Bobby, I mean, thinking about this city, going back to the reactions that you saw all over social media on Friday, that's just for him signing. What do you think the home opener will be like when hopefully Matt Cord introduces LeBron James for the first time to the Sixers fans? I had Dave McMenamin on a couple of weeks ago, me and Johnny did, and he talked about how LeBron James would love to still be loved and appreciated. It's a different energy here in Philly. You know that. You've covered other teams, and you covered the teams that he played for, Cleveland and Miami. If LeBron James is listening right now, maybe he is. We renamed the station after him. What can LeBron James expect that first night wearing that Sixers jersey at the Xfinity Mobile Arena?
It's funny you asked that, because I did think of this on probably before Friday when I really got that feeling that there was a good chance that he was coming here. I think he's going to appreciate it so much because why? I think the fans in Philadelphia are just about as competitive as LeBron James, and I think that's something that will shine through. And I heard you playing the other stations from other cities.
Yeah,
it's so bogus. It's unbelievable. I've been all over the country, Andrew, and covering the Sixers. I've been on many, many, many radio stations all over the country, and fans don't compare. They don't compare to Philadelphia. And I'll give you another example. I covered the All-Star game, last week here in Philly, from the home run derby contest to the All-Star game itself. After the game was over, I went into the National League locker room and I asked non-Phillies guys, along with Phillies guys, how did Philadelphia show this week? What did you think? To a man. Oh my God. Yeah, I never thought it was like this. Them saying, when we come here as opponents, we expect to get booed, and we expect that, and that's great. I love that because that's all part of it. But I can't believe what it's like to have this city on your side. To a man, they said that. These are professional baseball players. Yeah. People from out of town don't get it. Athletes do, and LeBron's going to get it right away.
Now, Bobby, before I let you go, and I appreciate you coming on this Sunday, man. It's great that we get to celebrate this for different reasons. Me as a Sixers fan, and you as somebody who covers the team. And man, do you have content to have now this year? The job that both Mike Gansey and Bob Myers have done, I don't even know how to start talking about them because I just feel like we have basketball people in place. And not that Daryl Morey wasn't a basketball person, but it was a different style. It was very analytic driven. Just talk about what Mike Gansey and Bob Myers have been able to do in like 2 months together to not only get LeBron James, but Jaylen Brown was a great move, and Anthony Simons was a great move, and now Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. How much different is it having these two guys lead the charge versus some of the other people that have been making decisions over the years for the Sixers?
And it might not be done yet, Andrew. That's all I'm going to say. But, yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible the things that they've been able to do in the short amount of time. That's what and this isn't anything against Daryl Morey, but that's what winners do. And that's how they become winners. They're proactive. They do the unthinkable. They go after the unthinkable. They try things that others may not even try or may not even follow up trying. Did Daryl Morey make all the phone calls? I'm sure he did. And Elton Brand, I'm sure they did. But there's just a difference when it comes to a Myers and it comes to Gansey just a little bit. He just got into the job. But there is a difference in Bob Myers. Like, it's the first time I talked to him, I was like, wow, this is what it's about. And then making calls throughout the league about him and about Mike Gansey. I did not talk to anyone throughout the league that didn't think that this was a home run, a grand slam. And what was used a lot, and I wrote this, that people thought that in Mike Gansey, Bob Myers had picked his clone, a guy that could be just like him. Well, there's a guy that won 4 NBA championships. So it is a different feel that the upper part of this organization, quite frankly, hasn't had since this ownership group took over.
All right, Bob, you can't leave me with a crumb like that and me not follow up. They might not be done yet. You don't have to give me names, all right, because you got your own job to do. But, like, what can they even do? Because LeBron James signed here for $4 million. So, like, it's not like they signed LeBron for 50. They don't have any money left. Like, what realistically could they do, Bob?
Well, I mean, you could think trades if you want, and trades obviously have to equal money. You could look at it that way. Is there a cut somebody and sign? Is there just different things that they might see more fit as to what they have here now, or add on to what they have here now? I just, I've talked to many people. They could be done. Like, this could be the team that you roll out there when opening night starts. And talking to some parties, hopefully Matt Cord will be back. I know there's some interest on some parties' side, but we'll see. I don't put it this way. I know somebody said to me that they have sourced that they're positive they're not done doing business yet. Others have said, yeah, maybe. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. It might be maybe it's a monster move, maybe it's a smaller move, but I don't know for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's something else coming.
Did you hear the Matt Cord introduction that was done on the station?
I did.
I hope to hear it.
Very good.
I hope to hear it 41 plus more times.
Yeah, that would be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Knowing Matt the way you and I know Matt, he's not going to shake any foundation by saying anything or anything like that, I wouldn't assume. This is all going to be on the Sixers to go and ask Matt, and it wouldn't surprise me if Matt said, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good time. Fingers crossed, Bobby. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'll probably talk to you again in like 2 hours.
All right, buddy. You be good.
There he is, Bob Cooney, joining me here on this Sunday morning. All right, coming up next, I really wanted to bring up the Mike Yancey and Bob Myers factor. Brian Windhorst spoke about that. You'll hear that coming up next. Again, it is kind of a shot, but like no shot at Daryl Morey and Elton Brand and Brett Brown before that. Remember, Brett Brown signed Wilson Chandler. He also signed Mike Muscala, though. And that changed everything. So thank you, Brett Brown, for making that incredible decision to sign the Moose, Mike Muscala, that landed us Tyrese Maxey, that landed us LeBron James, or at least was a factor in landing LeBron James. But the incredible input, the incredible change of scenery that Mike Yancey and Bob Myers have provided the Philadelphia 76ers. We'll talk more about that coming up next. Also, we just had Bobby on. I want to hear from you. All right, phone call 610-632-0975. We'll check the Davis Honda text line as well. YouTube, I appreciate you guys buzzing all show today. We got more reaction coming up next here on 97.5, the LeBron, home of King James. We're at the Philadelphia Inquirer, inquirer.com. They do great work. I don't even have to click on this article. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Grading Mike Gansey's transformational first offseason as Sixers president. I don't even have to, because honestly, if you have nothing short of it, if it's anything that's not an A+, then you're just doing it just to do that. And I trust that the Philadelphia Inquirer, a very respected source, did not do that. I trust that they gave them an A+, but I'm not even going to click on it, because if you didn't, then I will just be angry with the state of journalism in the world. Grading Mike Gansey's transformational first offseason, A+, period. End of story. Now, speaking of Mike Gansey, and of course Bob Myers as well, because I believe Bob Myers had a bit of a hand in LeBron James signing with the Philadelphia 76ers, starting with his appearance on the podcast with Rich Paul and Max Kellerman, which, by the way, that dropped when we were on the air. It was Kincade and Salciunas a couple of weeks ago. John and I were doing the show, and somebody on our YouTube chat, forgive me, it may have been the Beer Battered Gummy Shark. I don't remember. Somebody remind me. Somebody on our YouTube chat said, hey, guys, Bob Myers was on the Rich Paul podcast. And I said, you got to be kidding me. And I immediately ran to Sean Rodman and Austin Jones, who are our guys that work in the back during the morning show. And I said, yo, you need to get to this now and get anything that you can find. And I love you, Bob Myers, because Bob Myers was a freaking G that day. All right, he was a gangster that day, because Bob Myers said exactly what he should have said. He was very respectful, but also was, dropping the hammer on him. He said to Rich Paul at one point, look, he's LeBron. Your client, he's earned to do whatever he wants. He's earned the fact that he can pick Golden State and play with Steph and just end his career playing with one of his best friends in the league, a guy that he's been going to wars with over the years, championship appearances, championship battles. Him and Steph, they've won gold for the United States of America. If he wants to play with Steph, hey, man, that's a great way to end your career. If he wants to go back home and go to Cleveland and end his time where it all started, that's great. If he wants to go to Miami and live the fine life, right? Gets to golf every single day, doesn't have to worry about the temperature, go for it, brother. But if it's about winning, and I remember when he said that, but if it's about winning, you can't argue that Philadelphia isn't that destination. And Bob Myers is that gangster. Bob Myers hired Mike Gansey. It was his decision to hire Mike Gansey. Josh Harris just signs off on it. He just opens up his wallet. And now you have basketball people running the show. And this was Brian Windhorst on ESPN after the decision made by LeBron James to sign with the Sixers. Here he is talking about how important Gansey and Bob Myers are when it came to the decision being made.
The fact that there's a clutch client at the centerpiece of this team and the championship contender, I believe those two things intersecting, plus LeBron trusted the management. He trusts, I'm sure, Bob Myers, immense respect there. He trusts Mike Gansey, somebody he's known since high school. I think all of those things gave Philly a chance. Philly had some things going against them. They weren't home. They weren't Miami. They weren't Cleveland. They weren't Golden State. But what they had going for them ended up being the difference.
By the way, I love you, Stephen Gansey, who is the brother of Mike Gansey. The whole Gansey family they don't have to buy a drink or a meal in Philadelphia. All right, the entire Gansey family. I know it was a big decision. Mike Gansey made it very clear when he first got hired by the Sixers that it was going to be a culture change for him. He's been in Cleveland his entire life. He is from Cleveland originally, and then, of course, he's been with the Cleveland Cavaliers organization for 15 years. I remember July 1st. Why are you doing this to me, man? July 1st at 8 o'clock. What day of the week was July 1st? I got to go back to the calendar here. July 1st was
Wednesday.
A Wednesday night. Yo, Steve, what do you mean by this? Stephen Gansey, the brother of Mike Gansey, posted a photo of basketball players from the Cleveland, Ohio area. And the arm that is on the shoulder of a young LeBron James is your president of basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers. It was Mike Gansey. And remember, it was down between LeBron James and Mike Gansey for like Mr. Ohio or Mr. Cleveland, whatever the reward was for the sport of basketball. And here we are now. It's July 26th, but 23 days after the tweet from Stephen Gansey that showed the connection that Mike and LeBron had. He's a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, what do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Nick, on Field Davis Difference. Check him out in Burlington. Nick Earnshaw producing the show today. What do we got?
All right, so we got Steven Yardley chiming in. I don't think I've ever seen a turnaround for a franchise like the Sixers did in such little time. When the season was over, I was willing to listen to trades for Maxey because the window seemed closed. I'm just stunned.
People were emotional on either side of the Sixers season ending. There were people emotional saying trade everybody. There were people emotional that anytime you talked about trading somebody. I would never have traded Tyrese Maxey. Like, I would never have done it. But I have said on these airways, behind this microphone that I'm actively speaking into, that there is a ceiling to Tyrese Maxey. That Tyrese Maxey needs to be a 1B to somebody. And it's just a shame that Joel Embiid is never necessarily healthy. Or could Maxey be the 1A to Joel Embiid's 1B, and you know what you're getting from the big man when he is playing at his best? But this was the first time in my life as a Sixers fan, as a Joel Embiid follower, supporter, worshiper, that I would have traded Joel Embiid. I would have traded a pick in order to move Joel Embiid just to get that contract over, because getting rid of Embiid or getting rid of Paul George, it wasn't just, all right, they're going to be good the very next season now that they got rid of one of these two guys. No, getting rid of one of those guys would have been the first step to another 2, 3, 4-year process to getting to becoming a championship contender. But the second they traded Paul George and somehow got Jaylen Brown for it, I still don't know what Brad Stevens is thinking. They traded Paul George and got Jaylen Brown in this deal. Forget the picks that you gave up. You went from a 36-year-old player who is a role player to a guy that's in the prime of his career that can lead a team to being the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference when they were supposed to be a bottom half Eastern Conference team. You were already better at that moment. That moment you were better. And then you get LeBron James. You're not trading anybody. You're not trading Embiid. You're not trading Maxey. You're not trying to move contracts around. This is the team, and this team is freaking dangerous, man. Absolutely dangerous. All right, coming up next, more of your reaction to the LeBron James signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. This party continues. I want to know where you were. I want to know how you have been celebrating. I want to know what Sixers gear you've been rocking. I want to know if you've already purchased a jersey. I know that the Fanatics website is already sold out. I want to know if you were one of the people that bought the jersey, one of the people that was always believing. I also want to hear from a very specific group of fans, Nick. And I'll tell you who that group of fans is next, because this doesn't have to be a bash fest. This can be something where we can all be adults about it. I'll explain more coming up next. John Kincade, my man in the mornings for one more week, will be joining us coming up around 12:25 via Zoom. But I want to address a certain group of fans coming up next and see where you're at today. This is Andrew Salciunas here on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. I address a group of fans, and I'm gonna say this kindly. I do want to check out a couple of texts on the Davis Honda text line. Phil Davis Difference. Check them out in Burlington as you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia. This is a Beasley Media Group station, and we are now calling it 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. Nick, give me a couple of texts that we got coming in. I want to hear your voices as well. I love the text line, but I want to hear from you at 610-632-0975. Pick up the phone. I'll get to you. What do we got?
All right, Stephen P.A., he chimes in. Major reason LeBron is a Sixer. Nick Nurse is a Clutch Sports client. No one is talking about this.
I'm sure it's part of it. I said I had a theory a couple of weeks ago, Nick. Tell me if this is crazy. I had a theory a couple of weeks ago. I was like, if you're Rich Paul and you're the team of Clutch Sports, let's face it, LeBron James is a part of the team of Clutch Sports. He helped start this.
I would say so.
You need the next big client. And if you look up and down, you can find every Clutch Sport client. There's a website out there that shows it. If you look up and down the NBA clients, Tyrese Maxey is the second best player. It's LeBron James, it's Tyrese Maxey, and then it's a bunch of guys. Like, it's not filled with superstars. Like, Zach LaVine is a Clutch guy. He was a star a few years ago. Nobody's looking at Zach LaVine as some superstar anymore. There are a lot of okay to good basketball players on that list. If you're an agency group, especially a big one that is perceived as Clutch, right? Clutch Sports is perceived as this huge ownership group, agency group. You need a face of that. And part of my tinfoil cap theories of LeBron James coming to Philadelphia weeks ago was, man, imagine if they win, and now you can sort of put Tyrese Maxey on this pedestal. He's already a big face of the NBA. He's got the shoe deal. He's this all-star starter. But if you could say, hey, here's the next Clutch guy, the next guy that when you think of Clutch Sports, he will be the first person you think of in basketball. I thought that actually had some legs to it. I'm not saying that's the reason why, but if you're Rich Paul, it's like, all right, we need the next person that's going to lead this group.
Remember, the star was next to Maxey on the whiteboard.
It was.
And they didn't even discuss Maxey. Like, oh, yeah, Maxey, yeah, we're good. We don't need to even discuss that. That's a big reason if you were to come here.
Yeah, he didn't even have to expand on that at all. And then, of course, there's Kellerman going, oh, is that why you had a star next to him? And Rich Paul's like, may have been. Like, you don't have to fool any of us.
A little corny. Look,
you're part of the family now.
Yeah.
You're part of the family. Welcome. You got to up your game a little bit.
The theatrics were a little much.
Yeah, the speed of Philadelphia is a little bit different. So you got to work on that one, Rich. Just a little bit. All right, just take that as some advice. All right, I want to address the fans that didn't want him here. And it's so funny that I say that, and I see a comment on our YouTube chat, and my man Yo Dude didn't even know that this is where I was going with the segment. Yo Dude chimed in saying, I wasn't even a fan of LeBron coming here. I won't try to change history, but he's here, so wee! Like, he's very excited, right? I love that response because you are saying, all right, I wasn't really in favor of it, but he's here now. Because you're supporting the Sixers. You are a Sixers fan. I don't know why LeBron James has become such a ticking time bomb for people to all of a sudden be fans of a team or not even fans of a team anymore. Like, there are people that didn't want LeBron James out of hatred for whatever reason. I don't even know why. I don't know why you have to hate LeBron because you like Michael Jordan. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, I love both. I didn't really see Michael Jordan play. I saw him play for the Wizards. I can't really, when people ask me who's the better player, I don't answer that question. I don't, because I don't know. I didn't live it. But the people that didn't want LeBron James here, now that he's here, I hope you saw how the majority of this city reacted when he signed with the Sixers. And I can't imagine seeing that reaction, even though you may not have been thrilled with the idea of him signing here, or maybe you were trying to say, I don't want him here. When you see how your neighbor, how the guy at your local Wawa is wearing a Sixers shirt today because of it. I don't know how you don't see that and go, you know what, screw it. I didn't want him here, but I'm going to be a part of this celebration. And we have a guy in our YouTube chat every morning, my man 215J Philly. He has like hatred for LeBron. I really hope that if the Sixers start the season 20-5, you're not going to be doing wait until the championship because he's only won this many and he's lost this many. Like, come on, man. Be a part of the party. And it's okay. It's okay that you didn't want him to begin with. Now that you see how everybody's having a good time, celebrate it. There are people in the media that felt the need to talk about how much they didn't like the signing. I get it. That was your opinion before the signing happened. You're entitled to your opinion. All right? You're absolutely entitled to your opinion. But I can't imagine that when the news drops that you feel the need to talk about how much you don't like it. Like, I'm going to give you a story, Nick. All right?
I'm ready.
When I got married back in 2019, it was right before the world freaking shut down. November of 2019 was when I got married. December was when I went on my honeymoon. Like, I got, like, the last bit of weddings are fun before everybody got afraid of germs. All right? Like, it was the last of it. And it was a great wedding because I didn't plan any of it. My wife did all the work. And we had a great time. It was at this place called the Ballroom. It was a Chess Cafe place. They do it. Oh, my God, those weddings are great. I'm still waiting to be invited to a Chess Cafe wedding so that I can go as a guest and not have to do all the stuff that you have to do as the groom, all right? So the wedding was great. DJ was fantastic. Shout out DJ Smooth, who is doing great things in the Philadelphia area. Did John Clark's wedding recently. I made sure to text him. Remember the first guy you worked for,
in
right?
Philly media.
Just remember, I know John Clark had like millions of people at his wedding, and he came to my little tiny wedding. But DJ Smooth was there doing great work. The catering was ridiculous. The food, start to finish. The dancing. Everybody had a great time. And I had somebody come up to my wife and I at the end of the wedding. All right, it was like 11 o'clock at night. Everybody's blitzed. All right, like, it was a great time. This individual, I won't even say who it was. I won't even say what side of the family they were on. But this individual came up to us and said, "Oh, my God, thank you so much. The wedding was great. It was a great time. Your dress was beautiful. And the desserts were fantastic. The DJ was awesome. The speeches, the friends, the family, your dad. Oh, the speeches were great, but the lobster was a little chewy for my liking." And I looked at this person and wanted to call them an idiot. Like, first off, my wife who did all this work, you're looking her in the eyes and telling her that the lobster was a little chewy.
It's ridiculous.
Like, you're talking about how incredible this is, but you still need to feel the need to talk about why you weren't totally happy about it.
Like 95% there, you know?
I can't imagine seeing every Sixers fan celebrating the way that they are and say, "Yeah, but I didn't like it." I can't imagine living life that way. I have opinions every single day on this station, and sometimes they piss people off because people don't want to hear negativity. They don't want to hear why something may not go well. But when it goes well, I'll be the first person to say I was wrong, and I am happy for everybody that believed. And unfortunately, there are people that just don't see life that way. And they say, "I'm happy for you, but here's why I'm not." And I'm not calling out a single person that everybody probably thinks I'm calling out right now. I'm talking about my neighbors. I have a neighbor across the street, and I have a neighbor to my left. And we were all outside at the same time. It was a beautiful night. Friday night was beautiful outside. I was outside. I was taking the trash out or something. And they both walked out at the same time. And I'm wearing a Sixers shirt. And my one neighbor goes, "Oh, what? Are you excited about this move?" I go, "Dude, really? Yeah, I'm a Jordan guy." I go, "I don't care.
Who cares?
You could be a Wilt guy." My next door neighbor, a little bit older, is a Wilt guy. And I'm like, why does it matter? Wilt's not playing anymore. Neither is Michael. You have the best player now in this era playing, and he picked our team. Are you a Sixers fan or a Michael Jordan fan? Are you a Sixers fan or a Wilt Chamberlain fan? Are you a Sixers fan, or do you feel the need to always be right? The entire city is walking on cloud nine right now. I can't imagine not just being a part of that. So if you are somebody that did not want him beforehand, that's fine. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. And if the Sixers don't win a championship when this 2-year deal is over, you can say, "See, I didn't think signing a 41-year-old player and making him a focal point of this team was a good idea. You are entitled to that opinion. You're entitled to say, I told you so 2 years from now. But right now, let people celebrate. Let people have fun. Because this world knocks us down too much. If you want me to get really deep, this world knocks us down way too much. I had a guy tweeting at me the other day saying, what do you mean life-changing? My life is still the same. I still have to wake up and go to work. Yeah, but you know what? If you wake up and go to work the day after the Sixers win the NBA championship, won't that day at work be a little bit different for you? Won't the water cooler talk be a little bit different for you? Enjoy it. Enjoy this moment right now, because this is not something that you get to see every day, especially with us. And we have two guys that picked us. We have Bryce Harper and LeBron James. There's totally different levels to those guys. But we have two guys right now where when you put on ESPN or Fox or NBC or any of the networks, LeBron James is a guy that they're going to put commercials on with, and so is Bryce Harper. We have two of that right now. Enjoy it. All right, I'll get off my soapbox now. Coming up next, we'll get more of your reaction. Don't forget, John Kincade will be joining us coming up at 12:25. What a hell of a week for him to be signing off. LeBron James is a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. We get more of your reaction to it coming up next on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. Let's get some of your reaction. And then later this segment, you're going to hear from my childhood hero, Allen Iverson, reacting to LeBron James becoming a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. I can't wait for it. Before we get to the Davis Honda text line, let's get to some calls. Let's go to my man Mitch in East Windsor. And, of course, you can all call in at 610-632-0975. I want to hear your excitement. Mitch, what's up, brother?
How's it going?
I'm good, Mitch. How are you, man? LeBron's on the Sixers.
Damn right. And all of a sudden now he doesn't mind being a fourth or fifth option. He really stuck it to the Lakers. Has to be some team. Not only you got a good backcourt, you also brought in two guys that could start for a few teams. KCP and Simmons. Those are pretty good guys. The rest, Maxey and Edgecombe.
Yeah, I mean, but, Mitch, you're right. Like, it's so funny because we're going to be so caught up on LeBron James, deservedly so, right? Rightfully so, that LeBron James is going to be the focal point on anybody's takes and thoughts and opinions. But if you start thinking about it, like, from a basketball standpoint, one of the biggest issues with this team last year was they ran Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe into the ground because they traded away Jared McCain for whatever reason, and Quentin Grimes was not an offensive threat for you. And so, yeah, he played some good defense, and he could run point a little bit, but he wasn't a scoring threat. They needed somebody that could come off this bench and score to give Maxey and VJ Edgecombe a breather, and you do that with Anthony Simons right away. And I'm really excited to see how LeBaron Feinlein Jr. plays a factor with this team. And because of his youth and because of what this roster already has, you don't have to put too much on his plate. Like, VJ Edgecombe was in your starting lineup last year, and it was a big reason why you even got to the playoffs. LeBaron Feinlein Jr. can kind of take his time and develop his game into his NBA craft, and that's great for the Sixers moving forward.
It's incredible. Everyone was talking about Miami, Cleveland, even Golden State, and I was surprised he didn't get Washington because he wanted to play with Anthony Davis, but they said no that because they're putting up a good picture.
Nobody wants to play for the Wizards. Who wants to who wants to play for the freaking Wizards? That's a disgusting franchise. Thanks for the call, Mitch. Like, the Wizards. Could you imagine saying I'm taking my talents to Washington Wizards? Like, I know LeBron, I know Michael Jordan did it.
That's true.
But like, who? With all due respect to our nation's capital, like, who the hell wants to play there? Oh man, I know a destination. I want to play for the Wizards. Can you think of a more irrelevant franchise? I want to play for the Sacramento Kings. Like, that sounds great. Just so funny to me, man. All right. What do we have on the text line, my man?
All right. So on the text line, we got a couple more texts coming in. 2 points for you, Chunis. This is from Philadelphia 9 on YouTube.
What's up, Philly 9?
The Philly fan narrative is so exhausting. Curious for those people that didn't have LeBron over MJ, has their narrative changed?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, that's why I had that little soapbox segment last segment. The people that didn't want him, and there are a lot of people that for whatever reason didn't want, they just don't like him. I don't get how you have to hate the other person that you're debating. Like, when we talk about Jalen Hurts, let's keep it in-house, right? Let's keep it in Philadelphia. For whatever reason, it's Jalen Hurts is better than Josh Allen because Josh Allen stinks. Why can't you say Jalen Hurts has had more playoff accomplishments than Josh Allen? And that's it. Like, you don't have to talk about how another guy stinks when he doesn't just to try to make your point. Like, you don't have to do that. For whatever reason, if there's a LeBron-Michael Jordan debate going on, it's I hate LeBron James. That's why Michael Jordan's better. I just love the fact that he's here and your team is better because of it. All right. Now, there's no debate on who my all-time favorite Sixers player is. It's Allen Iverson, even more so than Joel Embiid. And you guys know how much I love Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's the most talented Sixer I've ever seen play. But my love and appreciation for Allen Iverson, when I got to take a picture with him as an adult, I was, like, shaking. All right? Like I got to speak with Joel Embiid, and I love Joel Embiid. I am the number one Joel Embiid fan on the station, and even there, I acted very calm, cool, and collected. Allen Iverson, I was literally, like, shaking. My palms were sweating. My knees weak and arms were heavy. Like, I was that nervous standing next to Allen Iverson. Well, here's AI talking about LeBron.
Definitely championship or bust, man. I mean, that's the added piece. He just boosts the percentage of any team having a chance to win a championship. He's one of them ones, man. You know what I mean? He's the king for a reason.
I love him. I love him. And he knows how good LeBron James is. and you just know, oh my God, hold on. Let's think about this for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Allen Iverson, they like to bring out there to get the crowd going every once in a while, right? Like, I don't know how often AI is there because he wants to be there or because a paycheck comes in. Hey, AI, we need you to do the stand-up, cup the ear, so that in the second quarter, Matt Cord can introduce you and the crowd can go wild. Can you imagine the crowd pop that we will get? The first Allen Iverson stand up from his seat, cup in the ear, and you know LeBron's going to walk over to him. Because LeBron can do whatever he wants, right? LeBron James has earned that status that if there's a guy in the third row that he recognizes, mid-game, he could probably call a timeout and walk up 3 rows and dap him up. You know that LeBron, that first, embrace with him and Allen Iverson, that's going to – I might cry. But I'll be honest with you. I think tears will be coming out of my eyes. That first embrace of LeBron James and Allen Iverson. And you know what? They should make it center court. You know, why not, dude? Do you know the Sixers – say what you want about how the seasons have ended and the front office and all that kind of stuff over the years. The Sixers put together an experience unlike any other. You go to a Sixers game and you're getting more than just basketball. They know what they're doing. They know how to entertain everybody. They do a great job at it. You know that they're going to come up big that first night, first game at the Xfinity Mobile Arena where LeBron James is a member of the Sixers. And you know all the celebrities will be there. All the former players will be there, and you just know that when Allen Iverson and LeBron James come together, oh, God, there will be tears in my eyes.
It's going to be nuts.
It's going to be nuts.
Who's going to ring the bell? That's the question.
LeBron. I would have
LeBron do
it. Dude, yeah.
Or what if you bring out Dr. J, Iverson, all of them to center court to ring it?
Yeah, that works. I'll give you another good one. Max Kellerman. Dude, why not? I would have Max Kellerman ring the bell this year. I would have Rich Paul ring the bell this year. I would have everybody that's been associated with this. Bob Myers. Gansey. Oh, dude, yeah. Mike Gansey should definitely. Oh, my God. Everybody should ring the bell this year. All right, coming up next, my man in the mornings, John Kincade, was on vacation last week. Man, is he coming back for one more week for a great time. LeBron James is a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. And John Kincade gets to talk about the Hawks in a couple of weeks. Johnny the K joins us next here on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James.
You're listening to the Andrew Salciunas Show on your radio home for King James. 97.5 LeBron.
Yep. 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. It's also the home of Kincade and Salciunas for one more week. In about 3 months' time, Nick Earnshaw, we will be able to talk about the starting five that has Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and Joel Embiid and Jaylen Brown. And can you please play the Matt Cord introduction so that we can all hear it? Whether not Matt Cord makes a decision to come back, I hope that he does. This is how it will sound, the home opener for the Philadelphia 76ers.
At 6'9", from St. Vincent, St. Mary's, number 23, LeBron James!
I got freaking jealous just hearing it, man. So we get that in about 3 months' time. And in about 3 months' time, other people get to talk about C.J. McCollum and Lou Dort and Corey Kispert and Ray J. Dennis. Not Ray J. Ray J. Dennis.
Not Ray J.
And other members of the Atlanta Hawks. And that would be my soon-to-be former partner, John Kincade. Johnny, what's up, man?
Wait a minute. We got like 5 or 6 more days left. And they're already naming it the Andrew Salciunas Show. I mean, is this just for today?
It's just for today. The next show is still currently question mark in Salciunas because I still have no idea what we're doing, brother. I have no idea.
Well, the betting odds, the betting markets, the Kalshi markets are all over the place on who's taking my chair. So I don't know, but all I can tell you is everybody. By the time I got off the plane today, I landed in Philadelphia, took an early flight home, and there were at least 7-8 guys in Sixers gear, and there were at least 4 people that said something to me, either getting off the plane or in the airport. There's one guy that I know all the time. I see him all the time at the airport, traveling a lot. Like, Kincade, what do you think? LeBron, man. Everybody is so jacked. And I couldn't be happier for this fan base. I couldn't be happier for the city because it has been a long, long time. It is going to be so much fun. And yes, I'm envious that you're going to get to enjoy it, but I'm thrilled for you that you're going to get to enjoy it.
Dude, I mean, you know how much I love this freaking team, and this is like,
I know you do.
You texted me yesterday, like, how you doing? I was like, dude, I'm on cloud 9. Like, I wasn't joking when I texted you back. I did not sleep last night. This was Friday and a Saturday. I was not joking. I was having dreams that I was supposed to be up in Bristol. I was missing a shift to talk about LeBron. Like, I could not sleep Friday and a Saturday. And you know the grind of the morning show. Come Friday, you're usually exhausted. I was about to take a nap around 12 o'clock. Like, I scheduled. I was like, 12 o'clock, I'm laying down.
Sure.
Boom, 11:30 hits, dude. That was over. Like, I can't believe that this is my life. And even though you're going to be in Atlanta, you're a Philadelphia fan, you're a Sixers fan. Like, it is our life right now where one of the best players in the history of the sport is joining us. And even though he's 41 years old, he's still playing at an extremely high level. And with what this team needs, it's a perfect fit, man.
I heard you say something earlier about all the people that you feel are getting rewarded by this. And it's whether it was the people who love the process, people who hated the process, people who were in the Iverson era who maybe dropped off. There are a lot of people who, like myself, graduated high school and went to a championship parade and have seen nothing since. And I, like me and you, we differ. I was not a fan of the process. But the thing is, the love of the Sixers lied underneath the skin, sort of like a dormant virus just waiting to come out. And this just brings the joy back. And what Mike Gansey has managed to pull off, and I don't know how much you and Connor talked about it last week, but we'll talk about it this week on Kincade and Salciunas. I can't get over what he's accomplished.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it's happened. Because we watched that Knicks series. They appeared dead and sort of gutless the way they played against the Knicks.
I finally was open to trading Embiid just to like end this era and try to move forward. And now you mentioned Gansey, he comes in, he goes, whoa, what are you talking about trading Embiid? Like, I'm not saying Embiid's the focal point of this team, but I can add to this team because there's a guy in Boston that's available, apparently, and that alone was the kickstart to a whole new era of Sixers basketball.
And not to mention, you talked about earlier on the show, I was hearing it as I was driving over to the hotel, Nick Nurse, like you said, would be sitting up at night just scribbling on paper.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guarantee you there are Sixer fans that are doing it right now. And you brought up the depth. The Sixers have had no depth.
None.
Under Daryl Morey, and it might have been his greatest indictment, is that this team there was no depth. And now they've got such versatility and so many things that they can potentially do, and more importantly, match up night to night, opponent to opponent. I loathe load management more than anybody in the world.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to give a damn about it with this team as much.
Because as long as it's not like injury, it's just the managing of the loads, John. Like you can pick specific days, right? Like, all right, this is going to be Joel's night off. You still have 4/5 of this incredible starting lineup out there. This is going to be LeBron's night off. Guys, be ready for the month of March where LeBron always has like this mysterious knee injury that pops up because he's just taken a couple weeks off. It's kind of like what the Phillies did with Zach Wheeler a couple of years ago. It's just what he has done. And the problem with teams like L.A. when LeBron James did it, before they got Luka Doncic, they weren't good enough to keep on winning. Here in Philadelphia, before they get Jaylen Brown and now LeBron James, whenever Joel Embiid took off, you knew that they were going to lose. It's why Doc Rivers called it a scheduled loss. Like, that has happened. But the depth of this team, starting five and bench, you know that if one of those guys is out for a given night for load management reasons, you're not chalking it up as a loss immediately.
It's something that I don't want to talk out now because we'll talk about it this week on the show, but I wonder if there's going to be strategic load management by opponent. Like, is this a game where Embiid, probably it's a good night to give Embiid off? This is a night that, maybe you give LeBron off. Depending on the opponent, how much does Nick Nurse get to match? I'm just so excited for the franchise because there has been a variety of different ways that people have thought this thing could get fixed. And I'm thrilled that Mike Gansey showed what I always knew. You didn't have to lose on purpose to fix a team. You didn't have to, you could have competent management. You could have strategic management, bold moves that go and do things. The Sixers didn't even have the most of to be able to offer to go get Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And they got him. I don't know how Gansey did it. It's some Jedi mind trick. I think that's what they call it. Whatever he did, man, he's brilliant. And I'm telling you, right now, he got a little bit of Howie Roseman in him, too, because there's a little bit of gangster in there. Because now I would guarantee there's probably going to be one more of those veteran additions coming here.
Yeah.
If not two.
There might be. We had Bob Cooney on about an hour ago, and he said, don't be surprised if they're not done yet. And everybody in our YouTube chat is immediately pointing out Draymond Green as a potential option, which, hey, I would take him in a heartbeat. I love Draymond Green. All right, last thing. I got to read this tweet out to you. And I'm just going to read the tweet, and you react, because not only have you not been a fan of the process, and I was a fan of the process, we also have differing opinions on a specific individual. So I'm going to read this tweet from our man, Tony Jones, who we both respect and love. Per league sources, this came out on July 24th at 2:30, a couple hours after the decision. Joel Embiid was a heavy figure in LeBron's recruitment, and that recruitment lasted throughout the process. Your thoughts?
I think that it's a fantastic thing that LeBron had his listening ears on. I think it's fantastic that I think it would be stupid for any player not to want to partner up with LeBron James. And I think that in this situation where Joel Embiid is not being counted on to be one of two, he's not counted on to be Batman or Robin here. He's counted on to be one of the Super Friends. Now, you're too young. The Super Friends was the show when I was a kid, when Batman and Robin and Aquaman and Superman and Wonder Woman all resided in the same building. It was called the Hall of Justice. And they all stayed there. It was like this big dormitory of superheroes. And I think that this is the perfect opportunity for the Joel Embiid, I guess, and I don't want to say this isn't part of the Joel Embiid era. The Joel Embiid era ended when the minute Jaylen Brown got here, I think it ended, and then the minute LeBron James get here, it's ended. This is Joel Embiid's career. It has the chance to end with a really happy note.
Yes,
and and I do believe if they're going to win, he still has to be a big part of it.
Oh yeah,
I think he still has to be a big part of it strategically. Not every night, maybe not even every playoff series does he have to be that big. But there are going to be certain nights where Joel has to really be a focal point, and I think that's great. I'm so happy for the city, and I'm so excited that we get one more week together. But I got to tell you, there was one phone call made by Clutch Sports.
What was that?
I didn't tell you about it.
What was that?
They reached out to me.
Okay.
They said LeBron was interested in coming to Philly. They said, LeBron said the town ain't big enough for both of us. So get the hell out, Kincade.
Well.
So LeBron told me to move. And look, for the good of the city, I said, look, if it would make 8-year-old Andrew feel better, and all those process geeks feel better, I'm willing to do it. So LeBron sort of forced me out. He said, look, he didn't want to compete with the big personalities.
Yeah, no, I got that.
He wanted the station brand.
Yeah.
And I said, look, LeBron, you're a legend. It's awesome. And
it's a great sacrifice that you made for us.
You know me.
You get to talk about Aaron Wiggins. You get to talk about Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's
I think the connection's gotten a little.
What from the hotel room that you're in? That is a nice piece of artwork that you have behind you.
It is a very nice hotel here in Malvern. I thank the people here for taking good care of me. They even got me into a hotel room at 11 o'clock. How about that?
Oh, that's impressive. By the way, I just noticed because I when I do the Zoom interviews, I actually look at the camera so that you can so it looks like I'm looking at you, right? So I just looked down at the screen. I forget that you have the weird iPad that like your movement, the camera moves.
The camera, it's like I have a cameraman.
And I wonder how many people on YouTube, I got to read some of the comments, are wondering what the hell is going on. Because I remember, the first time we had a Teams meeting with Scott years ago, I was like, why is your camera moving? Like, what are you doing, dude? It almost looked like you were doing General Hospital scenes.
My camera moves with me. And General Hospital's been kicking, by the way. Really has. It's the camera moves with me. And we got 5 more shows, dude, and I'm so looking forward to our final week together. And what an exciting way to end it all.
Dude, LeBron James.
Awesome.
LeBron James is a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, Johnny, enjoy your hotel.
At 4:55 a.m.
Oh, can't wait. See you tomorrow. All right, there he is, John Kincade via Zoom, back from his vacation and ready for his final week of Kincade and Salciunas before he resumes working, covering Lou Dort and the Atlanta Hawks, and not LeBron James and the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, coming up next, final bits of reaction. We will be back at it tomorrow. Johnny and I, tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, as you just heard him mention. We'll see each other at 5 of 5 in the parking lot before we get ready to do one final week together. But more reaction for one final segment. Don't forget, D. Lynham continues the party today from 1 to 4. Nick Earnshaw will continue to produce that show. And we'll be back at it next here on 97.5 LeBron, the home of King James. so happy, man. As you guys know, I texted Ant right away. Thinking back to the amount of fun we had playing this song on a loop over and over and over again. And there were some times where it was close, man. That series against Kawhi in Toronto, and the quadruple doink. That series against Atlanta where they inexcusably blew 2 monster leads, leading to losses in games. Up with 5 minutes left in Game 6 against the Boston Celtics. Finally beating the Boston Celtics just to get swept by the Knicks in the very next series. We have been beaten down over and over and over again. And every time a front office made a move that you thought maybe this could help, it normally didn't. There were mistakes made. There was bad luck. There were tough times. But I think back, I close my eyes to the excitement that we had with the positive stuff, because I don't want to always be negative, right? Joel Embiid's first game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, I can still see it. Ben Simmons hitting turnaround fadeaway jump shots in summer league action. Thinking about them trading up for Markelle Fultz and how he was, on paper, the missing piece. There were moments in time where you were so fired up, and none of those reached this level of excitement for me and for anybody that is a fan of the Philadelphia 76ers. One of the greatest players in the history of the sport is on this team and is the missing piece to a roster that really just needed a point guard. And not only did they get that, they got LeBron freaking James to play alongside newly acquired Jaylen Brown, the rising star that is Tyrese Maxey, the rising star right behind him that is VJ Edgecombe, and of course the man that I will continue to go to war for year in and year out, Joel Hans Embiid.
I hope y'all keep trusting the process.
It is the best roster that we've gotten to see post-process. This smacks the face of the Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, J.J. Redick team, even though that one was so much fun to watch. You have a starting 5 and you have depth. You don't have to be a part of a beehive club with Mike Scott. Like, I got real players coming off the bench. Like, this is a real basketball team. And in the middle of July, the end of July, with training camp right around the corner and the trade deadline in Major League Baseball, with the Phillies peeing themselves night in and night out, there is something that I can lean back on and say, oh, my God, I can't wait for this to happen. I've been telling you guys that I've been ready to wish away the summer, which I never do. I'm a big summer guy. I love the summer, but I've been ready to wish away the summer because I'm this excited. I'm that excited for the Eagles season, but screw that, man. I'm ready to wish away the first 4 weeks of the Eagles season. Like, I'm ready to get to October, baby. Like, I'm so excited for this season that we are about to watch, where the Sixers will be on national television almost every single night, and you put your radios on 97.5 The Fanatic for that 8 o'clock tip-off, and you leave it on so that you're listening to the morning show the next day. You don't think I've been thinking about that stuff? This is life-changing for me as a Sixers fan. It's life-changing for me as a radio host in Philadelphia. And it's a life-changing event for every Sixers fan. It's why when I got the response from somebody that tried telling me this isn't a life-changing event, I still have to go to work the next day. I still have to pay my bills. And he told me in the tweet, Nick, have some perspective. Brother, you have to say the exact same thing looking in the mirror. This changes everything. Because I know that after a big game, everybody is happier. And I'm not just talking about here in One Bala Plaza. I'm talking about when I get gas at 4 o'clock in the morning some days because I forgot the day before. Like the guy at the Wawa that's fired up. I'm thinking about the dispensary where everybody's fired up. I'm thinking about the liquor store. There's a guy, Tom. There's a liquor store near me, Nick, called Tolmar's. Tolmar's Discount Liquor. All right, it's where I go. And my man, Tom, I told him that the day the Sixers get LeBron James, if they get him, I'm coming in there, I'm buying a bottle of champagne, and we will pop it at Tolmar's. He wasn't freaking there Friday. He was off. Hand to God. because one of the other guys texted him saying, yo, your boy's here. I went to Tomar's to buy the champagne, and he was not there.
Oh, he's got to be there Monday.
Which was devastating to me. Well, I mean, listen, dude, I enjoy myself, but I don't have a problem. Like, I'm not going every other day to the liquor store. But I made this special trip because LeBron signed. He wasn't there. But, like, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Like, it is life-changing. Everybody in this area, in the Philadelphia, South Jersey, Delaware area, and even people that are Sixers fans that have moved away, that are in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. They might not even be in Philadelphia. There's Sixers fans that aren't on this continent. It is life-changing because it's something that you get to have excitement for every single day. When the Sixers are on television, you will be excited to watch the game that night. When the Sixers are being talked about, not only here on the Fanatic, but in the national realm of things, you're going to be excited to hear what they're going to say about your team. It may seem small because you do have to do your grind of the day-to-day life, of going to work, of paying your bills, of dealing with hardship, of dealing with stuff in your life that you don't want to deal with. But, man, you know what I like to do when life keeps knocking me down? Like when I've had a long day playing with my son who I love, but he finally goes to sleep after kicking and screaming. Man, I love putting on NBC Sports Philadelphia and putting the Phillies game on, man, because that's all I want to do. Or the Flyers. Or the Sixers. And I like doing that when Arnett Moultrie is playing. I like doing that when Tomas Perez is playing. But, man, I get to watch a Sixers game with LeBron James. It doesn't feel real, but it is.
Chunas, all the Isaiah Cannonballs, the KJ McDaniels.
Look, I haven't even brought it up. I'm surprised that I haven't, knowing me. I was a member of the Revolutionaries, the guys that sat behind home court. The only thing I didn't do, I didn't dress up as a Revolutionary member. I brought the fatheads. So if you ever watched a Process Sixers game, me and my buddy Joey, we go back to high school together, but we were also roommates in college. He and I used our Temple Diamond dollars that you get the little card for, and we went to the Student Center and went to the big printer, and we made fatheads of Process players. All right, think about that for a second.
That's unbelievable.
We made fatheads of not Furkan Korkmaz, but Furkan Aldemir. Like, we were these guys. And funny story, part of the reason why you do it is, all right, we got free tickets because we were a part of it. Like, the Sixers weren't selling out the arena. So we got
$4 for a ticket.
Yeah, but we were getting them for free, which is even better. The most money we spent was the $3.60 that it took to go down and back on the Broad Street line. Like, that was our payment, was $3.60. We went to dinner at the Temple Dining Hall, and then we'd go down the Broad Street line, $3.60 round trip, and it was a free game every single time. I remember when LeBron and the Heat came to town. We got those tickets for free. That was part of the deal, right? Like, all right, come watch this bad Sixers team, cheer them on when they play the Kings, and you'll get the free tickets to when the Heat come to town, when the Clippers come to town. Those are the high-flying Clippers, all the best teams in the league. You get to watch right behind the net for free. There was a guy in front of me one night when the Heat were in town, and he dropped his ticket stub, because this is when you still had ticket stubs back in my day, and I picked it up, and his ticket cost $300, and he had his wife and 2 kids with him because he was sitting behind the net. So that dude, to watch LeBron James and the Heat come to town, this is now many years ago, dropped $1,200 just on the seats, let alone the food and everything. $1,200. I was there for free, man, because I was supporting a team that was trying to lose. And now I get to say that I get to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers for a living, and it's not Arnett Moultrie, with all due respect. It's LeBron James. It's life-changing. Life-changing. All right, what do we got on the Davis on the text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check him out in Burlington. Don't forget, D. Lynham is going to be coming up at 1 o'clock today. The party continues. Nick will continue to work. Nick working double duty today. Again, shout out to my man, Brendan Dutz, who's been able to get the YouTube running for this show today. That was one of the things I asked for. When Scott Masteller, our program director, asked me, hey, do you mind doing a shift this weekend? I said, as long as my YouTube family gets to be a part of it. I'm serious. I'm not just saying that. Like, I wanted the YouTube family that is here every single day, Kincade and Salciunas, and Middays with Marks. I want the YouTube family to be a part of the action today, because this party is not the same without you. What do we got?
All right, we got a text coming in from California, no name to it, but says all the haters can stick it. King James wants to win titles, and the Sixers are the perfect fit.
They were the perfect fit. From a basketball standpoint, they made more sense than anybody else, and that's why I kept on saying. And I said it a couple weeks ago, and John called me stupid for saying it. I would have been angry if he picked somewhere else and did the press conference and said, I came here to try to win a championship. If he said that about Cleveland, Miami, Golden State, he'd be lying. The only two places where it actually would have been true was Philadelphia and Minnesota, and I knew that he wasn't going to the freaking winters of Minnesota to end his career. He came here to win a championship. And my God, if that happens, dude, you think I've been a lot and electric and energetic today? Look out, man. I love this team. I love this team so much. And I can't wait to be able to continue to love this team moving forward. And now to do with a child, it's unbelievable. All right, Nick, brother, great job today, man. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for canceling your vacation for LeBron James. Brendan Dutz, you're the man. YouTube, love you guys all. D-Line will be continuing the party until 4 o'clock. I'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. One final week of John Kincade. He and I will finish the week strong, and then we'll all find out at some point what the next show is. But everybody have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.